Great question. So in the state of great upsetness, how do you come to know the heart's peace? By the way, I'm really glad you came to class, even though you're in a bad state of mind. And I'll just tell you a little secret, which is not lately, because I'm in a very good place lately, but there have been times in the more than 20 years I've been teaching in this area, where I have felt before I taught a class like, oh, I just can't do this. I'm in such a foul mood. And the mind is so unwieldy and unwell, whatever. I've been in that place. And then there's the funny grace of sitting down as a teacher and leading the meditation and having it all disappear, just as it does for you. Just as it does for you, it does for me sometimes. So I just wanted to mention that. So when you are in a really difficult state, well, if you've already recognized what I'm talking about, what awareness is, what you are as awareness, you can ask the question, is it still here? Is awareness still here?
Okay.
Is awareness still here? Is the room still here, so to speak, the room as a metaphor? Is that room that doesn't argue with anything still here? And then if it is, let that be what is knowing the bucking bronco mind. That irritated, angry mind. Just notice it from there. And let go of expectations. I don't know that it's wise to have the expectation that's just going to calm you down. It might not. But what you've done is you've pulled out just a little chunk of delusion, which is that there's no peace present. There is actually peace present. There's the peace of awareness present. It's being ignored. When you're upset, it's almost universally being ignored. But you can bring it if you just ask, is it there? And recognize it. You can begin to know that there is actually peace. Even in the upsetness, there's something knowing it from a place of non-resistance and stillness. And sometimes that just unties the knot. Sometimes it doesn't, You can not worry about what the result is. Just put that in. And if you haven't noticed what I'm talking about, if you don't have a clue what I mean by noticing awareness, use a different word like presence. Just invoke presence. Can I be present with this? Can I be present in this? And witness myself within it. So presence, witnessing, those words can be helpful.
Yeah. Right, because
not be in those moments in your thoughts when you're presence and witnessing, yes. And you can also, in a funny way, feel the upset person you are within the space of awareness.
Yes.
There's Mark having a fit. And if you're doing it from just that presence, there's not aversion, there's not judgment. He's just what he is.
Right.
And if anything, there's a recognition of suffering.
Yeah.
Just a recognition of suffering there.
Right.
And sometimes you can kind of say, hi. Hi there, and get his attention. But the cool thing, the surprising thing is you can almost feel that energy of the upset version of you just right there within your field of awareness, and you'll recognize that you're not only that.
Right.
You're much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And this upset person, I'm willing to say, is the managerial part of your brain, which is working overtime to try to get you that COVID-19 vaccination and trying to negotiate the complexities of getting appointments and these websites that crash and making appointments and then having there not be enough of the vaccine so they cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
It is quite a challenge for a manager.
Mm.
And your managerial part of your brain kind of freaks out. And the poor thing feels like it's doing a bad job because it can't seem to get what it wants.
Yeah.
And that hurts. And so then it projects blame all over the place. It just vomits blame over the system and people, and why can't they do this right and so forth. And how come you got yours? And, so it's just like going all over the place
Mm-hmm.
in a heap of suffering, a dukkha kanda, to use the Pali. It's just a heap of suffering. It's just, this being suffering. And for a moment, you can just see the being suffering.